All right, we're live.
I'll, I'll fill in for Gov this morning. Good morning, everybody. David's having some computer malfunctioning, so I'll fill in sort of on the ES side here. Overnight, I mean, essentially ES is flat, NQ flat, RTY flat. Uh, Sort of one of the things I noticed is not flat is Bitcoin, uh, Nvidia, not flat. Uh, So, there's some signaling here that's a little caution. Um, so, I think let me update my little boxes here and stretch these out. These still apply, and they still apply because uh, this was CP. No, this was that last Monday when we sort of got a random rip for really no practical reason. And we talked about last week how this area was so low volume that it just needed to fill in. We've sort of done just that. Is we've come down into this purple area and we've held, and I'm actually going to adjust this up a little bit to, yeah, 5520. Um, and we've just been filling in this volume, and we can go to 1 hour. And we've just been filling in this low volume area. There's my volume profile there. This right here yesterday was Friday's volume point of control, which was 5533. Look where we are right now, 5532. We're just churning in this same area. So now sort of how do we create sort of an actionable plan, an actionable idea of what we're going to do today? I'm going to look at this as, until 5520 breaks, I think that's long. Until 5545 breaks, I think that's a short. So I'm looking at sort of this box area as continuing until it does something else. If we break this 5520, I mean, we've tapped it once here, we tapped it once. This was overnight last night, we hit it, and then we came up and we tapped 45 or 46. So we got both overnight. So that's been the range, 1, 2, and now we're sort of in the middle of it at volume point of control from yesterday. So what does that tell you? It tells you there's no trade here yet. So what we need to do is we need to wait and we need to see if we come down into this 20 or if we come back to this 45. And which way we break out of that 20 or 45 should tell you which way our trend is going to go for the remainder of today. And I think that's really how I'm going to play it. I'm not a fan of breakout, breakdown trading, except for maybe in a situation like this, where if we break below this 20, we have a support here at 10. So remember where this 10 came from. It was over here previous to filling to this move on last Monday. So it hit here, and then we broke out. Maybe I try and see if we leg sweep this 20 and try and long 10. If we want to play the extreme fringes. But if we break this 20, I think we could start and go and how I like the sort of rectangles. Do we go and now auction or come back into this area, which was before that big rip last Monday? So this area is a lot more congested and a little harder to play. So I think that we've got a little tough setup coming into the week here today. We've got Nvidia. Where's Nvidia? We got Nvidia weak. We've got Bitcoin really weak. If Bitcoin breaks below this like 6,500, actually, where was this wick here this morning? So 6,570. If we break below that, I mean, sort of pretty scary down into this area, 50, 5650. Bitcoin sort of one of those risk off, risk on, indicators where what does Bitcoin do? Does Bitcoin break down? If
Dan,
Bitcoin breaks down,
I think
you know,
I think your screen is frozen.
it is. Let me see
Uh,
if I can. Let me stop streaming. Hold on. How about now? Can
there
you
we
see
go.
it now?
That's better. Yep.
Was it frozen the whole time?
Just towards the end of the ES. Yeah.
Okay. So ES is going to be difficult here, I think. I mean, we just broke below this 32 area, and NQ. Let me go to NQ. Is that the right NQ? No, it isn't. Q, I had a level right here at 918. So this is a huge area of support here. That if this breaks down, you know, we don't have much down into this 19, what's that, 150 points below. There's no real hourly support. You know, there's some churn in here, but there's not a whole lot of real hourly support. 1, 2, you've got those wicks there where there's a nice clean area of support. So do we pop off this 18 area, which it looks like we popped off it slightly, but there's a lot of mixed signals today. You've got Nvidia, you've got Bitcoin, and Bitcoin being sort of that risk on, risk off gauge. So I think it's a tough tape this morning to judge, because now we are just auctioning this area that we talked about last week so much, and we're gonna have to just wait and play these fringes. Do we play the 20? I'm probably not gonna play the 20. I might play this 10 and long this 10. If we come back to this 45 again, do we break above that because we've hit it, what, 1, 2, 3 times? You know, do I want to short something that's been hit and rejected 3 times on hourly? Not really. So just talking it out, you tell yourself there's not a whole lot of things that I can really say are like, yeah, this is exciting to me. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. You see my screen? All right. Do you see my screen? Okay. Cool. Yeah, just reiterate what Dan said. I mean, I'm pretty much looking at the same area. Zoom in here. So we are basically auctioning in this consolidation, which, you know, you have down to this 20 and then up to this 45 area, is basically the range that we're set in right now. For sort of confluence, I do have a pivot just below the 20 here at 1850. So if we do come back down into this area, this would be definitely a spot I would be eyeing along. If we break down below, then we really have a lot of this volume to fill in down here and back. If we lose this, you know, the likelihood is we'll start trading in this range and start filling in these areas. I do have a Fibonacci support down here too. I'm not necessarily saying I expect us to come down here today, but we'd have to blow through 3 support pivots and some other areas. But I do have a decent support down here at 54.70, which may come into play this week. We'll see. And then, you know, there's the gap to fill here below. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. If we do break down below here, we'll come and trade in this range. It's not necessarily a bearish setup to take us there, but if we sort of zoom out here a little bit into the daily, it wouldn't be surprising. That would bring us back down to test. This is that support here that I mentioned. We have the 10-day moving average here, so coming back down into this zone wouldn't necessarily be bearish, just giving us that little bit of a pullback to consolidate for a move higher. If you're still in that camp of that we're still remaining bullish, which we kind of have to stay there until we start seeing things break down and breaking below these moving averages and seeing where we're going next. So on the upside, if we do break over this 45 area, I do have a resistance pivot here at 5,500, which is that cycle level anyway, a lot of gamma there. So I would be careful taking breakout trades and just be aware that, we have this 5,550 pivot and also cycle level there too. So just be wary of that. That's only 5 points over where Dan was mentioning. If we break out higher, then we can look for something higher, but just be aware of that. Let me go to some individual. Tesla, I was just taking a look at this morning. I shared this bullish pattern last week, and we've kind of been grinding up off of it. Overall, we're in this symmetrical pattern here. Break over, around 185 would take us outside of this pattern, and then looking for upside with resistance here at the 186.67, and then this basically 190 area. I do anticipate Tesla will keep moving to the upside. It was the week before last, we kind of broke out of this downtrend trend line here, and we've kind of came up here, we came back down, we held it, and we seem to be sort of structuring for a move higher. If you look on the weekly, we still have this inverted down here, but this is on a weekly, so it takes a little time for it to come to fruition. But ultimately, we got to get over this 190 and then push up towards the 200 and get over this 205, and then we can see if this has any legs in it. CRM, excuse me, played this, was a great play last week. I still have some runners left in this. Got to get over this 245, 246 area for a move higher, and then looking essentially to get into this gap and fill this in. So I know Dan took target last week. That's looking good. That's gapping up a little bit. This can really get some legs. AMD I'll keep an eye on too. We have this pattern on the daily. I got this nice move Thursday, I think, and I still had a few runners left. They're probably underwater now, but if we can get back over this 161, 162 area, I'll probably add to the position and see if this can keep on moving up. And other than that, that's pretty much it. We'll be in the room, ask any questions, and let's see how things set up for the week.